What's going on, my friends? Matt here, hanging out with old Nasty Joe. And today it is the most dreaded day in barbecue because today I'm not cooking, I'm cleaning. I was pressure washing the deck and I realized just how filthy my Oklahoma Joe's Bronco had gotten. Look, I just laid my hand on it. So there's two camps here. Clean the smoker, don't clean the smoker. I used to be in the don't clean the smoker camp. Now I've moved over to the clean the smoker camp, and I'm going to tell you why. So one of the reasons that I started cleaning the smoker was because several years ago, I noticed that as this stuff gets caked on, the more you smoke, it gets dried out and it starts crusting off. And pretty soon you're going to get a lot of this black stuff landing on your food. Now, I love pepper, hence Peppercoat barbecue, and I like a nice coating of pepper on my food, but I don't like that coating of creosote sprinkled on top of it. Number two, let's imagine you go to your favorite restaurant and they take you in the back, take you in the kitchen, start showing you around, and their equipment in their kitchen looks like what you're cooking on at home. And if that disgusts you, then you need to clean your smoker at home. Which leads to the third reason why it's disgusting, because all of this that's built up in here, some of it is creosote, some of it is just soot from the fire and the smoke, but a lot of this is oils and fats that have rendered out of your previous cooks, which can become rancid and mold and rot inside the smoker. In fact, I had a smoker several years ago that I neglected to clean. I came out one day, lifted the lid on it, and it was full of white fuzzy mold. Not a good experience. And reason number four, which may be the most important, is grease fires. You get all of this built up inside of this smoker, gets a little bit out of hand, and the next thing you know, you got a torch. So there's four reasons why I believe that it is beneficial to clean your smoker. And if you're still in the don't clean the smoker camp, hey, that's fine. But I'm going to show you how I clean this one and then re-season it to prevent any rusting. So for cleaning, the first tip that I want to give you is get it off of the deck, at least get it off of your patio, whatever. I like to roll mine out in the edge of the yard, but if you have pets like Bailey here, make sure that you get it out of range of where your pet is. Several years ago, I cleaned out a smoker and it wasn't outside of her little electric fence area. And then later that night, she puked up black stuff all over the white rug under our kitchen table. So yeah, keep it far away from the pets. A couple of things before you start. You want to remove this little cap here on the bottom. That was close. Wow. And then I want to take out the thermometer also. And that's just to protect it so it doesn't get messed up. You can go at this with a scrape and try to get some of this off. You can see some of that creosote is puffing off there, but most of this is pretty stuck on. So usually what I like to do is spray it down with this Dawn Power Wash. This stuff does a really good job at eating through all of that grease and grime. We'll just give it about 20 or 30 minutes to soak in. And then we'll come back and hit it with a pressure washer. Spray, scrub, scrape, whatever it takes. Oh yeah. Like in the very beginning, step 0.5, put on some old clothes. I've been spraying and scraping and scrubbing for close to an hour now, and this is probably about as good as I'm going to get it. So let me show you what I got. I'm going to leave it sitting here for about an hour, let this dry. Then I'll get it back up on the deck and get it seasoned in. So before I roll Joe back over in his little home in the corner, I'm going to put a little bit of grapeseed oil on the outside of the smoker. That's what I use on the outside of most of mine. I keep this rag out here and occasionally just wipe them down. And you may ask, why would you go to so much trouble for this little old drum smoker when you have all of these other smokers sitting around here? Well, I've had this Oklahoma Joe's Bronco for getting close to 7 years now. I have a lot of people asking me about smokers and ask me for that first smoker, what do I recommend? And it's always the Oklahoma Joe's Bronco. I love the offsets, but just for ease of use, man, you can't beat this smoker, and it produces some great barbecue. So it's about 7 years old now. Take care of it. It should last another 7. I got Mr. Joe snuggled back over here in his corner, and that's right, he's Mr. Joe now. He's all cleaned up, looks like $1,000,000, like he just rolled off of the factory floor, almost. But I'm going to spray this down with Pam, and then we'll start putting it back together, get a fire built, season it in, see how it looks at the end. As you can see, I had to go take a shower, man. I was a mess, and we got some people coming over, but Mr. Joe here has been rocking around 275, 300 now for about an hour and a half. I threw on some hot dogs and just lit up my Santa Maria grill. Going to throw on some burgers and get ready for this evening. So having to cut this video a little short, but it really wasn't about seasoning anyway. It was about, cleaning the pit and if you should clean the pit. But I will add in some pictures or video tomorrow after it gets a little more patina on it so you can see what it looks like. I want to say I appreciate all of you watching, tuning in week after week, watching the videos. If you have ideas for videos, then leave it in the comment section. I try to read all the comments and respond back. Hey, like, subscribe, do all those good things, and I'll see you next time on Peppercoat Barbecue.